All right, so this is our second day of Riemann sums. This time we're looking at the midpoint and trapezoid sum. So the midpoint sum is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to create our subintervals like with the left and right. Let's say we're doing 4 subintervals. But this time we're using the midpoint of the subinterval as the place where it touches the function. So here are 4 subintervals, 0 to 1/2. The midpoint is going to be at 1/4. 1/2 to 1, the midpoint is going to be at 3/4. 1 to 1.5, the midpoint is going to be at 5/4. And then 1.5 to 2, the midpoint would be at 7/4. Okay, so we're using the midpoint. So when we set it up, we set it up exactly like we did before. The width is not 0 to 1/4, it's still 0 to 1/2, so we still have a base of 1/2 for each of these. But this time, the height of each rectangle is going to be whatever that midpoint value is. So f of 1/4, f of 3/4, f of 5/4, and f of 7/4. And you'd plug those in and get the value. The other new Riemann sum is going to be the trapezoid sum. The trapezoid sum is essentially the average between the left and right Riemann sum as long as the subintervals are the same. So what we're saying is we're now, instead of creating rectangles, we're going to create a trapezoid with each of these. And you'll notice how this is our most accurate approximation. With only 4 subintervals, we have very little extra space. The only issue is it's a trapezoid turned on its side. So when we're looking at a trapezoid, normally you think base 1 times plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. Well, our trapezoid's turned to the side, so we're going to say height 1, height 2, base. So it would be 1/2 the base times height 1 plus height 2. Now, the base is just the width of our subinterval, and that's going to be the same for every single one. So we have a 1/2 that's going to be the same for every single one. We can pull the 1/2 to the outside. We have a subinterval of 1/2. This is our base. And then we have our heights. So for the first one, height 1 is f of 0. Height 2 is f of 1. Or sorry, f of 1/2. That's the first one. The second one, height 1 is f of 1/2. And let's set this up as separate things. So f of 1/2. And then the second one is going to be f of 1/2 plus f of 1, because those are our 2 heights. The third one, f of 1 plus f of 3/2. And then the fourth one, f of 3/2 plus f of 2. Now we can make this even simpler by combining some like terms. So this is 1/4. The f of 0 is going to be the same, but notice every single other one, the f of 1/2, f of 1, f of 3/2, are all doubled. So it's 2f of 1/2 plus 2f of 1 plus 2f of 3/2. And then the f of 2 is also not going to be doubled. And so this would represent our trapezoid sum. Now, we can only pull out the common factors and everything if there is a common base. So if you see one that's like this, where you're not going to be able to, well, this one has the same size bases, but see one like a table where you don't have the same base, you're going to have to create individual trapezoids each time. All right, so I'll let y'all go. Let me know if you have any questions. You'll have a great day.